All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a regular meeting of a panel of utility commissioners and staff of the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority held today, Wednesday, November 5th, 2025 at 9 a.m. at 10 Franklin Square in New Britain, Connecticut. My name is Tom Wheel. I'm the interim chairman of the authority. I'm joined today by my esteemed colleagues, Vice Chairman David Arconti, Interim Commissioner Jan Beecher, Commissioner Michael Karen, and Interim Commissioner Holly Cheeseman. This is Commissioner Cheeseman's first regular meeting with us. We have both a consent calendar and a regular calendar on the agenda today. We're going to first turn to the consent calendar, on which there are 2 items. I do want to quickly note that the agenda inadvertently excluded Commissioners Beechman and Cheeseman's initials from the consent calendar, but they are on the panel for the consent calendar today. Is there a motion for the consent calendar?
Mr. Chairman, I would move adoption of today's consent calendar, items 1 and 2.
I'll second.
Thank you. The consent calendar has been regularly moved and seconded. Mr. Bumpin, could you please take the roll?
Chairman Wheel,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Arconti,
Yes.
Commissioner Beecher,
Yes.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Commissioner Cheeseman.
Yes.
Thank you. The consent calendar has been adopted in full. We'll next turn to the regular calendar, where we only have 1 item on today's agenda, which is docket 24-1201, application of Yankee Gas Services Company, DBA Eversource Energy, to amend its rate schedules. And we'll turn to authority staff, Attorney Keenan, to present the decision for the panel's consideration.
Good morning, Chairman Wheel, Vice Chairman Arconti, Commissioner Beecher, Commissioner Karen, and Commissioner Cheeseman. On November 12th, 2024, Yankee Gas Services Company, doing business as Eversource Energy, filed an application with the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority to amend its existing rate schedules pursuant to General Statutes Section 16-19. The company currently provides gas service to over 252,300 residential, commercial, and industrial customers in 85 towns and cities in Connecticut. The company proposed a 26.80% increase, or $192,955,454 over currently authorized revenues of $719,998,000, the largest requested rate increase by a Connecticut gas company in the last 20 years, for a total revenue requirement of $912,953,454. The company also proposed a 10.30% return on equity, a 100 basis point increase from the currently allowed return on equity of 9.30%, plus a 50 basis point regulatory risk premium. The company included in the application a request for a multi-year performance-based rate plan, which would increase rates each year over a 4-year period. Importantly, the company has not had a fully adjudicated rate case since 2011. The authority conducted an extensive investigatory process over a 350-day period, which entailed 3 public comment hearings, multiple rounds of pre-filed testimony from parties, 5 days of audits, more than 1,300 interrogatories issued among all parties and interveners, 8 days of in-person hearings, submission of 134 late-filed exhibits, late-filed exhibit hearings, and briefs and reply briefs. The authority issued a proposed final decision in this matter on September 22nd, 2025, and provided an opportunity for parties and interveners to file written exceptions and to present oral argument. At oral argument, the authority provided an opportunity for any parties or interveners to comment on whether additional process in the proceeding was warranted. The parties and interveners subsequently had an opportunity to pursue a settlement agreement. The authority was guided by General Statutes Sections 16-19 and 16-19E, among other relevant statutes, in reviewing Yankee's rate amendment application and rendering a decision in this proceeding. By law, the company bears the burden of proving its proposed rates are just and reasonable by a preponderance of the evidence. The authority must deny any portion of the company's request not proven to be just and reasonable to protect the public interest as required under General Statutes Section 16-19E. In this decision, the authority approves an annual revenue requirement of $802,243,643 for the rate year November 1st, 2025 through October 31st, 2026. Notably, reflected in this amount is the company's refund of a total of $40,218,430 in ratepayer money over the next 3 years. The company's revenue requirement also includes an allowed return on equity of 9.48%. However, the authority reduces the allowed return on equity by an aggregate 16 basis points to 9.32% to address certain management and compliance issues. The authority declines to issue a multi-year performance-based rate plan as the current proceeding was not the appropriate forum to investigate, develop, and adopt a performance-based regulation framework for a gas company. In addition, the decision, amongst other determinations, approves $3,140,460,668 of plant and service and a payroll expense of $45,239,279 to support Yankee employees and Eversource Energy employees allocated to Yankee. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move adoption.
I would second.
Thank you. The decision's been regularly moved and seconded. I'm going to call for comments from the commissioners in a second. I'm going to start with my own. I issued correspondence in this docket on October 21st, 2025, providing notice that I decided to recuse myself from this proceeding due to my direct involvement in this case and my former role as a representative of the Office of Consumer Counsel. And for that reason, I am going to abstain from today's vote. Commissioner Beecher, do you have a comment?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I joined the authority very recently, I've not had the time necessary to reasonably render a decision on the record in this case. For this reason, I will abstain from today's vote.
Thank you. Commissioner Cheeseman, do you have a comment?
Yes, I will echo Commissioner Beecher's comments. As I joined the agency only on Monday, I too have not had sufficient time to reasonably acquaint myself with the subject matter and fairly render a decision. So I too will be abstaining. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Karen, any comment?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would. Very similar to past comments from last week's rate case, and also welcome to Commissioner Cheeseman joining us. I'd like to thank, first of all, our staff, colleagues here at PURA for their work, certainly our friends at the OCC, the Attorney General's Office, and all the interveners and parties, including the applicants, for all their hard work and time and effort they put into this. I'd also like to thank Vice Chair Arconti for his continued collaboration and leadership in this voluminous rate case, and appreciate his efforts. Much like the previous rate case with United Illuminating, the authority went right into working on adopting and developing the final decision, in spite of the fact that there were negotiations going on in the just in case they had fallen through, which of course they actually did. So what I think we have here is we tried to find a fair balance between all the parties, not the least of which is our ratepayers, and believe that we have come to a final decision that provides revenue that is sufficient enough to prudently manage the gas distribution system. And consequently, I plan to support this decision. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Vice Chairman Arconti, any comment?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I also want to welcome Commissioner Cheeseman to the bench. It feels like the old days of energy and technology. The authority has spent the last year adjudicating docket 241201. The record demonstrates that this final decision was developed with meaningful stakeholder participation. The revenue requirement we're approving today represents a balanced approach that ensures the company can continue to provide safe and reliable service while protecting ratepayers from excessive costs. The authority's thorough review and adjustment of the company's initial $192 million request demonstrates sound regulatory oversight. The approved revenue requirement aligns with statutory standards of just and reasonable rates. Finally, I'd also like to thank Commissioner Karen for his comments, and again for all the hours of working together through deliberation discussion, which allowed us to get to this final decision today. And again, a huge thank you to authority staff for your long hours that you put in throughout the 350-day proceeding. You are professionals day in and day out. Truly honored to work alongside you every day, and for all the hard work you do for the state of Connecticut. And I will be supporting the final decision. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Bumpin, could you please take the roll?
Vice Chairman Arconti, Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Thank you. The decision has been adopted. And that brings us to the end of today's regular meeting agenda. We will adjourn and reconvene next Wednesday, November 12th, 2025 at 9 a.m. via remote teleconference for our next regular meeting. Thank you, and I hope everyone has a great day.